I enjoy telling you your future, humming when I meditate, and thinking nothing but positive thoughts. I'm just joking. I actually don't do any of those things, except for the positive thoughts. I do those. Hello, I'm Tina Marie J. Welcome to this channel where we talk about cults and positivity and religion and whatever the hell I want to talk about. So today we're talking about spirituality. Ooh. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. And then all the Christians come and say, what the hell does that mean? I used to be one of those Christians that used to get upset. Literally, I would get really mad anytime someone would tell me, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. And my response was always, what the hell is spiritual? How do you believe in God, but you don't believe in Christianity and the Bible? Now, I'm on the other side of that, and I tell people I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. I know people hate hearing that, but I don't really care, I say it anyway. So what am I gonna do? Rephrase the way I say it? So I've been connecting with many people since I did start talking here and there about laws of attraction and how I believe in positive thinking and meditating and affirmations and things like that. For a while, I actually have wanted to make videos about this topic, but I wasn't really sure if I should because I don't know, it's a touchy thing. It's just people they just get frustrated. They're always, whatever, let's just move on. But it's kind of difficult to talk to people about being spiritual when they're not spiritual, especially if they're religious. It's impossible. It's basically like talking to a wall. All right, you know what? Never mind. Forget I ever mentioned anything. I think I'm slowly, very slowly getting to that point where I'm accepting of my beliefs right now and I'm okay with it. Saying that right now is scary, and the reason why is because a part of me is still a tiny bit indoctrinated, just a little bit indoctrinated from Christianity. When it comes to Christianity, you're not really supposed to be into anything that has nothing to do with the Holy Bible and nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It wasn't until after I left the ICOC when I discovered spirituality. It wasn't really something I discovered on my own. It wasn't something that I purposely got into. A friend of mine actually got me into it, and I used to make fun and joke about it all the time. But then when I started to realize that my faith was slowly fading away and I was starting to question the Bible, then I watched a video called The Secret. And they have a book, and I know you guys have heard of it, and two friends of mine told me about the book. They were like, you gotta read it, it's really good stuff. And I was just like, no, I'm not into that. That's that spirituality thing, I'm not messing with that. But then one day I was just like, what do I really have to lose? I mean, I'm stepping further and further away from Christianity, and I got kind of curious. And at this point, I was already curious about the truth of Christianity, and I became curious about other religions and beliefs, and I didn't want to be a part of any new religion, and I still don't. But at the same time, because I was curious and I wanted to know what else is out there, I started to feel a little more free to expand my mind and to just learn new things. And that's when I watched the documentary. I think it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, I'm pretty sure. I read the book and I was just like, wow, this is all about positive thinking. They're saying that you can actually control your thoughts and control your reality. And I've always been opposite. I always just was like, no, it's up to God. I have no control over anything. Everything's up to God. If I don't get a job, it's because God didn't want me to get a job. If I didn't do something, it's because God didn't want me to do it. I didn't know how to rely on myself, because to me it was taboo. It was like sin. If you rely on yourself, then you're basically saying that you're in control and not God. So I never relied on myself as much as I wanted to. So anyway, fast forwarding, I ended up getting into meditating and positive affirmations. I was always a very negative person, so I got into that. Then I started to slowly see how my mind was changing, how my thoughts were changing, and I started to realize that I actually can control things. I remember one day I was listening to some audios, law of attraction audios. The person I was listening to, she channels a spirit guide named Abraham. I had bought the book and I was really intrigued. I was subscribed on YouTube. I listened to all the videos, all the audios. I got really into it. And then my husband was just like, you shouldn't be listening to this stuff because it's not of God. And me being fresh out of Christianity, I was still scared of Christianity. I was scared that somehow God was gonna punish me or God was gonna allow evil into my life, because these are the things I was taught, is that if I were to just leave God, I would have evil come into my life and bad things would happen to me. And the ICOC taught me that a lot too. So I was really scared. One night I had a dream and it scared the crap out of me. And I ended up having sleep paralysis from that dream. And it was like a devil was sitting on me, and it was crazy. Like, I don't want to get into it, but maybe one day I'll make a video about that dream. If you want to hear about it, let me know down below. It was a scary, demonic kind of dream. I got rid of my book that I was reading, Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction book. I stopped listening to the videos. To this day, I don't listen to them anymore. So the point of me telling you guys that part of the story is that when I first left religion, I was still really scared, and sometimes to this day I still am a little bit fearful of something coming back to me. I don't know. It's, you know what, a lot of Christians will say, oh, it's because it's true. That's God. The Holy Spirit is telling you not to get into those things. I think it's because it's just what I was taught. If you're a child and growing up, you've been taught for as long as you can remember being alive that if you do something bad, something horrible will happen to you. You grow up into adulthood, and as an adult, you're taught the same thing. You do something bad, something horrible will happen to you. You're gonna be scared. And if you stop listening to that thinking, if you stop listening to that whole idea, it doesn't mean that you stop believing it. It's just indoctrinated in you. It's hard to release the idea of something horrible happening to you. Like, I remember when I was younger, my aunt had gave me a dream catcher, and she was like, hang it up by your bed and it'll catch all your dreams. I've always been a dreamer. I've always had a lot of dreams, very vivid dreams. And my mom took it and threw it away, and she was like, this is not of God. This is gonna invite some evil spirit, some evil presence, so we're getting rid of it. I remember another time I was watching Tina Turner's movie, What's Love Got to Do With It? She became a Buddhist, and she was doing that bing, 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 Nimayo Renge Kyo. And I was young, and I started doing it, and I was like, Nayo Renge Kyo. And then my mom, she stops me. She's like, no, don't do that. That's not of God. That's of the evil. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what a Buddhist was. I didn't know any of that. And I was just doing what I saw on TV. And then I just grew up thinking, well, if I chant, or if I chant while I'm meditating at yoga, then I'm inviting evil. To this day, I still have some things that I'm afraid to get into that I probably never will get into. Like, for instance, I don't think I will ever let anyone do a reading, a tarot card reading. I am afraid that that's gonna invite some evil. I'll never play the Ouija board. There's just certain things, like I won't try to channel a spirit or an energy. I know people who do those things, like they have psychic abilities and they see a lot of spirits, and I do not want to see nothing. If you're a spirit and you're around me, please just stay quiet and invisible. As a spiritual person, I don't go the full mile like some people get really into spirituality. They get real deep into it. I've gotten very, very, very into consciousness and conscious awareness. I do notice that many Christians fear it. Many Christians don't want to have anything to do with it. And I think what it is that when you're a Christian, the only thing you're taught is the Bible, and you're taught to only do and follow what's in the Bible. So it's kind of hard to get out of that and to suddenly, what the hell is that? Someone's like banging on like the ceiling. It's like knocking. I'm about to go upstairs and complain to the neighbors. I believe wholeheartedly in the whole laws of attraction, and the reason I say this is because it's just freaking true. Just think about it. There's something that you want to do, right? And you tell yourself, I'm gonna do this. Laws of attraction doesn't mean that you attract whatever you want because you thought about it. It means you got to put it into practice. You have to actually act on it. And the thing is that many people practice the laws of attraction and they don't even realize they're doing it. They're already practicing it even though they're so against it. It doesn't make any sense. We practice it every day in our life with the most simplest things. If you're going to take a test and you tell yourself, I'm going to pass, I believe I'm going to pass, that's laws of attraction. You're speaking it into existence. You're saying you're going to pass the test. Then if you take the test and pass, you're like, see, I told you I was going to pass that test. You put it in your mind. But it doesn't just take you saying I'm going to pass the test. Like, you also have to study and you got to work hard at it. For me, a lot of things have been working out for me ever since I really put my mindset into play and I really put into action with certain things in my life that I want to accomplish. Every single day, I wake up and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. This is on my mind. No matter how far away I feel from a goal, I know in my mind it's going to happen. It's of the inevitable because I'm going to make it happen. And when you have that kind of thinking and it's a very consistent way of thinking, eventually you see it happen. And that's all the law of attraction is. It's just basically you saying that you want something or that you're going to do something. And then the next step is you working on it, working towards that thing. And then the last step is you seeing it manifest. It's coming into reality. It's all about energy, all about frequency. I do definitely believe in energy. I believe that we're made of energy. I believe that we have energy. We have auras. I believe that you can control your own energy the same way you can control what kind of energy you pull in from someone else. For me, that's spirituality. I feel that as soon as I tell someone I'm a little spiritual, they start thinking, oh, she's into tarot cards and she believes she could do whatever the hell she wants in the world. No, I don't, because if I say I want to be a rapper but I suck at rapping, that doesn't mean that I could be one because I said I'm going to be one. That's not how it works. I got to be good at it. So I'm not going to say I could do anything I want. I can manifest anything I want. But the things I truly believe in, I truly love and want to do, of course, I can manifest it. You guys can too. And it doesn't have to take a non-believer. You could be a Christian. I know many Christians who are into laws of attraction. They believe in these things, and a lot of people practice it and they don't even realize it. Even pastors practice it and they don't realize it. They tell themselves, watch, by this time next year, my entire church is going to have nothing but new members. Makes flyers. He puts it out. He puts more time into preaching to people outside, telling them, hey, come check out my church that I minister in. That is laws of attraction, people. Ding, ding, ding. You're putting your energy and time and investing it into something you want to see it manifest. For me, thinking positive is huge. I talk about positive mindset all the time. I don't care how cliche it sounds. A lot of people are getting into spirituality and then people call it the new age. Label it what you want. For me, I believe in positive thinking. You can become consciously aware of things that you did not know existed. Things that you didn't know were in this universe. You can become aware of those things. I believe that I can manifest things. You want to call it new age, spirituality, whatever. I call it just life. This is how things have always been. From the beginning of time, if a person wants something, they can make it happen according to how they think and what they do, what kind of action they take. That's not a new age thing. That is something we do every day. Now we have a name for it. It's called The Secret, but it's really not that big of a secret. It's just that no one knew what it was. So someone decided to one day just put a title on it and it all makes sense. So a lot of people may say, how are you spiritual but you're not religious? What's the difference between being religious and being spiritual? Being religious just means that you follow a certain book, like the Holy Bible. You follow certain laws, rules, principles, whatever you want to call it. You have a certain structure. That is religion. Spirituality, there's morals, of course. You're not some crazy person running rampage all over the place. You still got belief, but when you're spiritual, you are more into personal development. How can you develop yourself? Get to know yourself. You become more consciously aware. I do a lot of work on my inner self. Getting to know who I am, being able to accept and to trust myself. I've never done that. That was like taboo. Knowing that I can create something and that I don't have to settle. I don't have to wait for someone to give it to me or for God to give it to me. I know this sounds horrible because Christians hate this. Oh my God. But that's where I am. That's where I am. Like, I'm not saying God can't give you things, but you can also do it for yourself. When I was religious, I would just pray for something. I didn't really work for it. Now I'm like, all right, I know that I want to have a good day. So what I do, I tell myself, I'm going to have a good day today. I'm not going to let anything get in the way of that. I'm going to have a good day. That doesn't mean I'm going to have a good day every day. Like, actually, this week sucked. I had a horrible week. Even today, I was just in a pissed off, annoyed mood. But I'm aware of my emotions. I'm aware of my feelings. I know how I'm feeling. I know where that's going to take me. So what I do is I say, okay, I'm aware that I'm not having a good week, I'm not having a good day, but that's not going to take all of my energy. That's not going to take all of my positivity. I also know that I'm going to have better days. I'm just going through this right now. Like, whatever I'm going through in my life personally, I'm just going through right now. I'm going through my, what I like to call my moment. I'm having a moment. I'm going to get through this, and then I'm going to move forward. I'm gonna press forward, and I'm gonna be fine. And I just keep telling myself that. I tell myself that all the time. And that's basically, for me, that's spirituality. That's my consciousness. This is how I feel on the outside, but in here, and in here, how do I feel, or how do I want to feel? What do I have to do to get there? Me wanting to accomplish certain goals, I know what it's going to take for me to get there. I know it's going to take a lot of hard work, but where do I start? What do I do? I just write down what I want. I say, this is what I'm going to do. Those are my affirmations. I start to let my mind open up, and I allow myself to receive any ideas. And then I write down those ideas, and boom, I got it. That's it. Boom, bang, done. As you go along, it gets easier. Do I think that you could be religious and spiritual at the same time? Most definitely. But when it comes to being consciously aware, that's basically what people like to call being woke. Once you're quote-unquote woke, you start to wake up to a lot of things. You honestly do. You start to see a lot of things differently. You kind of start to think a lot about a lot of different things. Like for me, for instance, I've been a vegetarian for 3 months now. I'm more consciously aware of what I put into my body. Basically now, I know that the government, they do things that they shouldn't be doing. They have certain things that are banned that shouldn't be banned, but then things that are not banned should be banned. For example, prescription drugs. You go to the doctor, they're so quick to want to write you something, they're so quick to want to diagnose you. Why do you think they do that? Because they get paid. They get paid for that. They get paid every time they do these things. But look all the side effects it has. Look at how it hurts your body. Alcohol is illegal. Look how many people don't know how to take it in moderation. They become addicted. Cigarettes are legal. But then they have all these commercials talking about people dying from lung cancer. Cancer is linked to a lot of crappy foods. And it's not necessarily just the food, but it's the crap that they put in the food. All of the hormones, antibiotics, the GMOs, all of these things. So I'm not saying you have to be spiritual to know these things, but what I'm saying is basically a lot of people who are spiritual, they start to think about these things. So whereas before we knew about these things, we didn't really think about it deep enough and start to realize, like, wait, this makes a lot of sense. Like, some people are very into conspiracy. I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but I do notice lately that I have kind of been a little bit when it comes to the government. But it's true, it makes sense. And then, what is the one thing that is illegal but has no kind of evidence or proof, medically, scientifically, that it can do anything to you? Marijuana. Come on, think about it. I mean, seriously, like, it's illegal in most states because they know the good effects it can have on people, how it could help people. They allow it to be okay medically in some states, but not recreationally, even though it's good for you either way. I used to be 100% against marijuana because I didn't know about it. I only knew what people were saying, the commercials that they have in growing up. Oh, drugs, drugs, drugs. But when we have a headache, do we not take a drug? Do we not take Advil, ibuprofen, Tylenol? That's a drug, is it not? Do you know the crap that's in there? I try not to take it. I try not to take these things, and I don't get headaches like I used to ever since I did become a vegetarian, and I started taking care of myself a little bit more. I do still have a long way to go when it comes to physically taking care of myself. It's not about perfection, it's just about effort and consistency. These are the things that have changed in my mind. These are the things that I think about, that I am aware of. These are things I believe in. These are the things, the kind of ideas and the thoughts that I practice that I did not do when I was a Christian. Once you start to think this way, it's kind of hard not to. It's kind of hard to go back to your old way of thinking, because once your mind starts to expand and you start to think more about things you never thought about, it kind of just keeps opening and you keep thinking more and more. I pick up, oh my God, shut up! I pick up a lot of people's energies kind of easily, more now than I did before, because I'm more aware of it. I've always been someone who could be really in tune with someone's emotions. I'm by nature an emotional person, so I tend to be that person that people go to for advice for a lot of things, and like my friends, like simple advice. Sometimes I could feel if a energy is real negative, I could definitely feel it. I like to make sure that my energy is as positive as it can be, because I do believe that like attracts like, and if your energy is nice and your own personal space is clear and you have positivity and you shed good light, you will attract other people, put out a certain kind of energy, so people sense it and they feed into it. That's just basically how that works, and that's why on my videos I'm always like, oh, I love you guys all so much, which I do, and I'm always like, oh, I want you to have a beautiful day, or happy freaking Friday, and just like a little more upbeat, or telling people stay positive, you got this, you could do it. The Tina you know now is not the Tina I was 2 years ago. I was just that downer, that person who's like, oh, everything's going wrong, something goes right, and it's just a matter of time before something goes wrong. I definitely want to learn more about getting deeper in your subconscious mind, which, by the way, is another reason why marijuana is illegal. They don't want you to get into there, and let me tell you, you start hitting it, you're definitely gonna be deep up in there. Why do I think that Christians do not like spirituality? I think that a lot of them don't understand it. I think that they automatically assume it's all new age. I feel like a lot of them just don't understand. They don't take the time to understand it and assume that everyone who considers themselves spiritual all practice the same beliefs and rituals and are into the exact same things. Many people who don't understand something will be afraid of it and they'll speak against it, especially if it's taboo for them because of what they believe in. To understand something, all you have to do is look up information. Doesn't mean you have to agree and start taking part of it also. If you're a Christian, you only believe in Christianity, so it's kind of to be expected. It's almost like they think everyone is out to get them, like everyone is the devil in disguise just because the Bible says that the devil takes many forms. Suddenly everyone and everything that is not of God, as they say, you're not of God, that is out to get them. Like, oh, we Christians, everyone is out to get us. Spiritual people are out to get us. That girl doing the tarot reading across the street in the coffee shop is out to get us. Everyone is the devil. Everyone is out to live for themselves and do whatever they want. It's always a us versus them mentality. So with that being said, I just want to show you guys my vision board, which I'm not done with, but I highly suggest that you create one if you do not have one. I have so many other things that I want to put up on it, so I gotta make space. I put down the things that I want to accomplish, the things I want to do in my life, the experiences that I want to have. I want to have a beautiful, beautiful home. I don't even want to live in a house. I want to live in like a high-rise, overlooking the city, floor-to-ceiling windows. I'm gonna get that. I'm telling you, I really want this. I'm gonna get that. I have Ellen DeGeneres because I plan on meeting Ellen and be like, what's good, girl? This is me and my husband. We're white, apparently. He's a white guy. Over here, I just have words. Now, these are some words that I like to go by, some sayings: work hard, dream big, going somewhere, strong, confident, driven, unstoppable, hustle, live long, healthy, plant-based diet. These are my brand colors, but black, as you know, my favorite colors. I definitely recommend you make a vision board, stick to it, look at it every single day, envision it. Now, this is not just for people who are non-believers. I'm talking to you Christians as well. You can be a Christian and you can still envision and dream and want things. And many churches out there or many other Christian leaders will try and tell you opposite, will tell you God has to give it to you. It has to be ordained and blessed by God. You can do things too. I listened to that for years and I felt so unaccomplished and depressed, and I hated life. I may not be happy with my surrounding all the time. I may not be happy with my relationship all the time. I may not be happy with the fact that it's hard just being an ex-Christian and still learning what the truth is when it comes to religion. But I'm happy with me, and I've learned to accept and love myself. I love you guys all so much. Stay positive. Don't forget to inspire, create, love, and grow. I send all my most beautiful positive energy, and we're out. Goodbye.